Comes out.
Hi.
Oh shit! Damn,
Who wasn't ready this time?
I wasn't. Well, I feel like I just took a shower, man. I'm hot.
It doesn't smell that way.
Oh, jeez, my ball sweating.
Just the one?
Yeah, the one I peed on.
Oh my God. Welcome to another Monday, everybody.
Oh, wow. You know what you should do? I'm Gizz Lazlo,
I'm just Paul.
and here we are at Schecter Guitar Studio here in beautiful Sun Valley, California. And again, we got a great guest. We'll talk about him in a little bit.
Yeah.
But first of all, how was your week?
Pretty good, actually. I got a lot of stuff done. I got a little reset yesterday. Can't complain. I'd like to, but I can't. How'd you do?
Good, good. Friday night, I went to go see our friends Tilt Wheel in Southpaw in Ontario after I recorded a song with Foreclosure, some cover tune for a tribute record.
Lewis let you back in the band?
Yeah. And then Saturday, got to hang out with the original Wheeze, Pauly Shore.
Man, he's so much fun.
He was funny. Went to go see him at Flappers. And then yesterday, I think I did a reset as well. I just pretty much stayed in my PJs and, peed on people's feet.
Well, that's going to be a part of the story later.
So it's been an all right week, I guess.
All right. I mean, it's just Monday.
Yeah.
There's plenty to go wrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll help that out.
Oh, man. But here we are. We were a little late today, but we got everything up and running. And it seems
remotely
like,
at Schecter Guitar Research.
yeah, look at that.
Spend money on that. We keep these guys alive.
You play guitar? Do you ever play a Schecter guitar?
I've never actually owned a Schecter. I've played them, but I've never owned one. I would fucking like to.
Uh-huh.
We get a sponsorship deal or something for this being.
Well, you got to be good.
Well, there's that
that's
problem.
How you get a sponsorship. You got to.
I got to remember what that looks like.
It does not look like this.
No, well, actually, it does look just like this. Old, broken, beat down, sort of drunk.
Are you drinking today?
I was gonna, but I didn't stop on the way here because we were running slow. And you bought something already and didn't get nothing for nobody else.
No.
What a dick.
Yep.
I'm just gonna drink your drinks.
I'll give you one of my drinks.
I know. I'll take one of your drinks.
I know you will. Oh, my drink should be here in a couple minutes.
All right. So what are we doing today?
All right. Well, let's get it.
Let's get right up in it.
Let's get the party started. Stories. Yes. Our guest today is Michael Rozon.
How do you spell that?
Willim. But I was introduced to Michael back in 93, 94. I recorded with him in 94, the first Dead Lazlo's Place 7-inch, Turn Up the Suck. And then in 96, 97, we recorded Lonely Street, our first full length with him. Then in about the same time, I did a Bad Town Boys record, Another Fine Day with him. And then most recently, we did a song with him for Foreclosure and also Bad Town Boys. We recorded a Ramones tribute here.
You hate the Ramones.
So, shut the fuck up, dude. Don't ever say that. But let's get him in.
All right. Come on in, bud. This is royalty, kids.
Royalties. What
Really?
Yeah. Royalties. Money? No.
You want to sit here?
Get closer to him. He smells funny.
Oh, wow. 3 of us. Oh, we do fit on this couch.
Yeah, we do.
Huh. It's like a casting couch.
That's not good.
So, Michael, how you been?
Good.
Wow. I love these answers.
Well,
I love these answers.
Interview's over. I was looking over your discography stuff today. How many albums have you actually worked on, do you think? I counted 312.
12?
312.
312. Yeah. It's somewhere around there for sure. Like 300 or 400 for sure. With different people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, that's just the same band.
No.
Yes.
Not the same band.
Wow, yeah, it's Guided by Voices. They're like 40 something now albums.
They have?
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
My favorite moment in the whole history of the world is I was scanning through the Discogs and I had to stop laughing before I realized that you did the Hasselhoff.
Oh, yeah. We did a remix. Well, yeah. With Ministry, we did that. Yeah, I think so. We also did a remix of was Sweet Caroline? Who's that guy?
Neil Diamond.
Neil Diamond?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, Hasselhoff.
Hasselhoff.
How did you
Was
get-
he here
No,
or
like,
somewhere with you?
we used to do it all over at Al's house. But Hasselhoff was at a party too. You know, I used to go to Tyler's parties and my friend Tyler, and you know, the Hoff was there.
The Hoff?
The Hoff.
Did you have to call him
The
that?
Hoff. Well, wait, yeah, I didn't even fucking. You didn't really do anything before. Like,
Yeah, right.
You're famous, but you didn't really do it.
Baywatch?
Drunk cheeseburger guy.
You know.
The drunk cheeseburger guy. What happened?
Nothing happened. Hey, cat.
Ooh. That was the first time we've ever had a cat on the
Put your
desk.
dirt star on my phone. That'd be great. Hi, honey. I'm
This is-
allergic to you, but I love you.
Oh, you're allergic.
No, it's just fine.
We can-
No, it's fine.
You're
This is gonna be funny.
Okay.
Watch his head grow up like a fucking grape.
Right.
So you've done a lot with Al Jorgensen, right, in ministry?
Yeah.
How
did.
how is he to work with?
You know, like there's days when I would leave there, you know, crying from laughing.
Mm-hmm.
He has an amazing sense of humor. So, you know, we'd be fucking both crying. We were laughing so much. With his stuff, like, you know, he had specific things he wanted me to do. But, you know, like and he'd go watch TV a lot of the time, and I would just take care of stuff. Just, you know, make the mix sound good, fix anything that needs to be fixed. Or just take care of things.
I mean, every time I look at a soundboard, I just like think sorcery. You know, it's not in my wheelhouse at all to do that. Some people can't run a table saw. I can't run a soundboard.
It's you know, really on most boards, there's only two strips. There's the, you know, the input strip,
Mm-hmm.
you know, which will have EQ and effect sends, and there's the stereo output thing. And so essentially there's only really, it's a lot smaller than it actually looks.
Really?
Yeah, because there could be like, you know, 60 input things, but all those 60 input things are the same.
Right into here.
Yep. And then you have the stereo output bus, you know, which is like a different thing.
Right.
So essentially there's two things.
Yeah, okay. Well, 2 is not as bad as that
It's not as bad
sorcery
as- yeah,
started.
yeah, when you
I mean,
see
like
it.
I see, you know, people just touching and brushing knobs, and I can't hear what you're doing.
Yeah.
But you've got to have a really specific ear for that. How did you wind up in that place?
You know, I did another podcast with this guy Alex, and I was telling him it's kind of the thing of like, at some point you learn what a good sound is, like what any instrument you're recording when it actually sounds good. You know, it could be a guitar, or it could be drums, or it could be, you know, a vocal or anything, and you can go like, okay, now that sounds like the thing.
Okay.
You know, so you get it there. You figure out how to.
You
get
find
there.
that like, oh, sweet spot.
Yes. And, you know, by the end, it's like, you know, even if you get the drums to sound great on their own, like they sound great on their own. Now you add bass and a bunch of guitars and vocals, all of a sudden your drums sound a little dull or something.
Okay.
So you got to do something to them to fix it, to make everything work together.
Do you always start at drums and work forward, or do you sometimes pick different instruments to work with?
Sometimes today the drums record last.
Okay.
Sometimes everything else is done, and then now we're doing the drums. You know, I prefer to do it the other way. It's like, you know, we'll do the bass, we'll get everyone playing together, but we're really going for the drums.
Right.
We'll get the drums so they're fucking deadlocked in. Then we'll start adding stuff to that.
Yeah.
You know.
What's your funniest in studio moment, you think? Like the thing was just the dumbest thing that ever happened. It's got to be Gizz.
I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. Yeah, like I know when we did the thing, like, what did you put on the record? There was 1,049.
1,009 beers.
1,009.
I can't remember how many gallons of whiskey,
Oh,
and
man.
then over a pound of cannabis, 10 hits of acid,
Oh yeah.
but absolutely no heroin was used
Right.
on this recording.
Okay, so now I remember that. I remember. So we had finished the record, the full length record, and I had some LSD in the house, so I passed it out to everyone, so we all had a little bit of LSD, but not enough to have a serious trip, but just enough to fucking laugh.
Microdose, yeah.
Which we didn't need.
And
we didn't need no help.
Need that. But anyways, Jeff was chiding me. Jeff Edwards, who's dead now, was chiding me along the way, like, oh, you got to get a fucking CD burner. And CD burners at the time were like $7,000 or $8,000.
Right.
They were really expensive.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I don't fucking have a CD burner. That's not happening. And so we took all this acid, and Steve went to the bathroom at some point, and Steve came back and went like, it was all quiet in the room, and Steve was like, forget about the CD burner. Maybe you could start with a few rolls of toilet paper. And we fucking died. It was just like
I remember that night when we were listening to the mixes, and Ike was standing by the wall.
Oh, yeah.
By the
I
door
can't imagine him on acid.
into the house, and his hair. I mean, he's he has a little bit of issues with thinning, but his hair kept like standing up, and we're like, is that the shadow? And it was just him just pressing his head against the wall and sliding down and going up, and oh man, it just and then you had that poster of Johnny Cash in front, and he never had lights. It was always candlelit. Everything blacked out. But when you walk, back and forth in the studio, you could see fucking Johnny's eyes following you. It was fucking weird. And then when that night when we did the acid, dude, it was just like, dude, he is looking at us.
He's looking at me.
He's so disappointed.
Oh God, he's probably happy you guys are doing something.
But remember in that recording session, we took some time to do some covers because we wanted to do a covers record. We ended up doing a Kiss song, and I played drums on it, and Jeff sang, and his stomach was hurting, so he had to lay down in the control room and sing with the microphone.
I remember that.
Oh man,
yeah.
He was throwing up while he was singing.
When he was doing the tracks,
stole your love, stole your love.
Oh my God, that's probably the best cover ever. Better than Kiss.
When we were doing the tracks for the record, Jeff was like, he had a lot of stomach problems, but he was drinking like a madman also.
Yeah.
So eventually I took a walk out there because he would throw up after, he'd do a couple takes and throw up.
Oh man.
We put a walk.
Did you save that microphone?
Yeah. Huh?
We put a walk out there for him, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh man. Did you save that microphone and just like once in a while?
This is when him drumming.
Oh, he was drumming.
Yeah, when he was drumming, we had a walk next to him so he could throw up in there. In it. And it, like what a walk is. So
I
go,
do.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I can throw up just thinking about that. God damn. Ugh.
I remember the original Speed-Semen-Clove-Factory was my favorite because it was your garage, whatever that den that was the control room,
backroom den.
Just so many great memories in that house, and then that when you'd walk into the
church pew.
Yeah, the church pew.
Man.
Remember when Steve showed up that one day after work, brought an 18-pack, and he just loaded it
Put
underneath.
them away under the thing and then leave, and it's just like
motherfucker drank 18 beers.
Oh my God.
You drank 18 beers. You drank the whole fucking 18 beers.
He's pretty big, but still, like 18 beers, like a lot.
And then after the 18th one, he was going, I gotta go home.
Yeah.
You're going to get more beer,
driving
probably.
He probably did stop to get more.
So what is the name of your space here? I read it. I left my notes in my office, and I was like, semen. What the fuck?
Speed-Semen-Clove-Factory.
Yeah.
Explain the fuck out of that for a minute.
I think the name came up when I was doing my band, and I was doing a lot of speed at the time, and it just seemed to, like the
Jizzing on
speed
stuff.
led into the semen, and it's just like, and I smoked cloves, so it was like, okay, Speed-Semen-Clove-Factory, great, awesome.
Oh my God.
Let's hope a bunch of other people don't have that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I looked it up. It's like there's 13 of you.
Oh yeah.
But you're all 13.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Oh man.
I remember the first time that I did vocals with you for the Turn Up the Suck 7-inch, and I smoked regular cigarettes, Marlboro Reds or something, and my throat was thrashed. And I came in, and you were just like, I don't think you got it today, kid. You know, and I was just like, maybe if I smoke a cigarette. And I was like, oh shit, I ran out of cigarettes. And here, take one of mine. You're closed. And I smoked the whole thing. Went outside, took got some air. I smoked the whole thing. I came in. We actually ended up doing like 10 hours that day of vocals. And I was like, dude, these cloves, they numb my throat. Here's another pack. Just keep smoking them. And we got a lot of work done that day. And
There's also speed in the club.
That
He didn't
was
tell you that part.
Then he peed on my foot. And I was good. Sucked on my neck.
Gave him a hickey.
Put some peanut butter on my ball. And
Oh,
good to go.
God, what a day that was.
One ball.
One ball.
Oh my
We
God.
got 4 balls
Between the two of
right
us.
Yeah, well, mine are huge. So, so how did you wind
You
up?
got 4 balls too. 2 down there and 2 in your mouth.
Oh yeah, thanks. I got 2 of my
Thanks,
head,
metal.
So how did you guys hook up? How did you hear Lazlo's place and approach him, or did you like beg and borrow and steal?
Lewis was one of
It was
them.
with Lewis?
Yeah.
So did I work with Buford before?
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so I guess it was Lewis then.
Okay.
We were about to get a deal with Fearless Records, and I called Lewis and was telling him like, I like your record. Where do you think we should do ours? Because I want it to sound good.
Yeah.
I don't want it just some other fucking studio that nobody knows what they're fucking doing.
Yeah,
You should try
yeah.
Michael Rozon.
Yeah.
And I was like, who?
Bad boy. Who?
How do I spell it?
ML76.
What's the name of his studio?
Oh my God. I was actually
that's the place I
Yeah.
want to go to.
I sent him a video. Was it Friday? I sent you a little video. I was playing some Buford 7 inches on my turntable. I'm like, I want more Buford, man.
Oh,
Dude, Sharif, more Buford.
they're great.
Hey,
They're
we've had Sharif on the show.
Yeah, he's
We talked
awesome.
about you as well.
He has an incredible memory.
Sharif says?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, okay, that was on August 6, 1997.
Wow.
It was foggy outside. I drove my 76. It's like, what the fuck?
I had those chonies on that had the stain
Yeah.
on the front.
You're like, he remembers all those details. Like, holy shit, don't ask him
Yeah.
a question you don't know the answer to.
Yeah,
He'll
yeah,
nail
you don't
you to the
know.
wall. Yeah.
He's a
He's a
sharp dude.
sweetheart.
He's a sharp
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
Sharif.
And an
Total sweetheart.
amazing musician.
Yeah.
Amazing songwriter.
I thought he would. I thought he would have done a lot better.
Well,
You
like
know?
we were talking earlier, I mean, you can be the best in the world and not get noticed
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah,
He does put
it's
it
a
out
bit of
there,
a
though.
numbers game, you know.
Don't I know it?
But he, like, I
No, you don't.
I don't think he's doing his own thing, is he?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
exploding
Now?
flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has he always? Wasn't he working with Alice Bag for a while?
Alice
Like,
Bag
He does
still.
play guitar for
he
Alice
was like a
Bag.
guitar player,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's just like he's a fucking amazing songwriter,
Mm.
lyricist.
Yeah.
Like some of those songs I still remember. Like we did the remaster recently of all the songs, but even before that, there's things I still remember that he sang.
Yeah.
Pedal On, I
Pedal
think.
on.
Dude, that intro that you did for that song is just
It's
it's
fucking great.
it's timeless. I mean,
Yeah.
every time I listen to that song, depression gone.
Yeah.
It's just
I gotta say,
such
it is
feel-good
such upbeat, yeah.
It's so good.
And then After Dark,
With your strung out big baby blue.
Yeah,
eyes,
man.
pedal on.
dude, but
You
that,
know,
that
it's just
intro
like,
though,
it's so fucking good.
that intro, the way
So he was
did it,
great.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine he was great in studio too. Probably
was great.
took direction like yep,
He
okay,
was great.
what?
Yeah. Next.
But he's kind of like the kind of singer that could kind of go in there and or just songwriter and go in there and he already knows, like
He knows.
this rhythm is going to go with these little melodies and
Yeah.
It's gonna work
he's-
out.
Yeah,
Like the best people I work with, like I remember working at some point with Phil Chen. So I saw Phil Chen at the Montreal Forum probably I was 12 years old with Rod Stewart. Phil Chen was playing bass. So he has this crazy Jamaican accent, but he's a Chinese guy because he grew up in Jamaica, right?
Wow,
So
That would fuck me up.
So he played with Jeff Beck, John Fogerty. At some point, I was like, Phil, how many fucking gold records do you have? And he was just like, oh, I don't want to talk about that, Michael. I was like, come on, how many gold records do you have? And he was like, 52. They're under my
Fuck.
because he's on, Rod Stewart, all the shit he's
Yeah.
on. And you know, you could, if Phil's dead now, but you could give Phil anything to play and he'd go, great, awesome,
Oh,
I'll do it.
man.
And then, you know, younger people who don't have any experience, if you make a suggestion or try to change anything,
Yeah.
all fucking bets are off.
Mm-hmm.
All bets are off.
Yeah.
So the people that you know have a lot of experience, if you make some suggestions, they're like, great, I'll try that. Great, I'll try that.
That's
you
it.
know?
That comes with you know, a confidence that you build over the years from being good at what you do,
Yes.
and to accept the fact that you're not always hearing it the way somebody else says.
Yes.
I've never written a song and recorded it and thought that's what it would sound like.
No.
No. From someone who I've done a lot of fucking recordings, but when I'm in a recording studio, I want to be hands-on. This is what I want. This is my vision. But when I work with you, I come in with a clear head and go, let's do this together.
Yeah.
Because you know my voice and you know how to work it. And
yeah, we all have to listen to
still,
that.
still, like, you know, like any artist, you know, including Gizz, like they have a vision of like what they want to do. And so I could go this way, I can go that way. But like, you know, I definitely want to see like, where do you want to go? Let's try to go here first. If you're doing that thing, we'll go here. If that's hitting a dead end and not working, okay, then we'll fucking try something else.
Yeah.
You know, along the way.
Like coming in with shitty amps and going, but here's a better option. Like, you know,
that's okay. You know, like the results in the end are what really fucking count.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to put a big disclaimer on your CD, like, oh, we did this because it's like no one fucking cares.
Nobody knows.
It sounds good or it doesn't. Period.
I remember one of the first recordings I ever did with Lazlo. We did at a present time, I believe, and we did it with Jonas Hansen, who was Yngwie Malmsteen's friend, and he brought in a little Sun amp, you know, and Chris Long had this shitty, you know, fucking Randall something, and it didn't sound right, and fucking Jonas was like, here, try this. And it's a little practice amp.
Yeah,
you know,
it sounded great.
We're recording the speaker, not the cabinet.
Yeah.
And put that in. I was like, wow.
Sounds fucking great.
I guess
there was a story about Lemmy with that too, right?
Huh?
There was a story about Lemmy with that. Somebody goes, well, here's a smaller version of a thing. He's like, I'm not going to play on that. And then he did. And he's like, fuck it, do it.
It sounds great. Like, however something sounds coming over the speakers, no matter whatever you have to do to get there, that's what's really
that's what you're
matters.
Capturing.
You know,
yeah.
It doesn't matter how you got there, if it's your amp or your snare or your guitar, or you know, like however we get the thing to sound good. That's what really matters.
Exactly. And then you give it to them, right? They get to take it home. Yeah, sure.
I never do.
What's the most surprised you've ever been with a recording? Like an artist comes in, a band comes in, and you're just like, wow, this isn't gonna be good, and then it's like, wow, this became an amazing recording.
Something. I got to think about that a bit. I'd have to think about that.
We'll come back.
Yeah.
What's the most miserable time you've ever had?
I was saying, have you ever thrown anybody out of the studio? Same idea.
Working with you.
Finally, I have an ally on this show.
I've spent some hours with you where we were just like, oh my god,
they're making it's hickey time. We got a new feature on the show.
Piss on your foot
again.
You got a jelly
again.
I got a jelly.
Is that a jellyfish?
A jelly roll. I was gonna say jelly roll.
Nah, he's horrible. Have you ever really had like a horrible problem in the studio? Like that's it. Get the fuck out of here.
I paid some people to leave.
We just talked about that.
They
didn't leave.
They didn't leave.
All right. Well,
okay.
Hopefully,
they came to do the record with me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, your reputation precedes you by quite a bit.
Yeah, don't judge by that.
No, I'm just sitting here. You smell good too.
Great.
You're welcome. When we did what I thought was amazing was that in '97 when we did the Another Fine Day here, or Rose at Your House, when we did that album, we did that with the second version of Bad Town Boys. When we came in here a few years ago to do the Ramones tribute with Bad Town Boys, that was the actual classic lineup. Did you feel different? Like, wow, that's a lot different from what I
The
recorded.
original from before.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there was a long period between those two things. You know, that said, and I think Tommy was here, right, when we did the last thing.
Yeah.
So that was common.
Yeah.
Because he was involved.
Me,
when everyone else.
I think it was me,
Tommy.
Ike, and Tommy. Were the
It
only
was just the
ones.
three of you?
Yeah. Greg and Chris, the two brothers, weren't in the band.
Yeah. So which one's the bass player?
Chris.
And
then Sean was the one from 97.
Okay. Yeah.
He was very nervous. I remember the first.
Well, his hands used to shake.
Yeah, his hands were always shaking.
Always,
But I remember there was something you said to him that calmed him down, and he
Mm.
started playing a lot better. Because it almost sounded like he was playing like a fretless.
Really? That bad?
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
he was
man.
nervous, dude. He was like,
wow.
He was really nervous because he was just like, man, this is my first,
Oh,
first
okay.
recording,
Seriously,
and we did demos, but
Yeah.
I don't think you intimidate people, but it is kind of intimidating when you look at what you've done.
Your discography, yeah.
Yeah, but like when I work with people, like I think it's like that whole thing is really disarming, because it's like I don't really care about like, okay, how are you contributing this thing? Is it working? Is it not working? Like, what can I do to help you make it work? I'm not here to fucking criticize you. I'm not here to put you down. I'm here to help make the thing so everybody's smiling in the end. That's
that is one thing that you have done, especially for me. Every recording I've ever done, it's just like, wow. I walk out of here and I'm just like, this sounds even better than what I expected.
Yeah.
This could be on a record. This can be on the radio. It's not like I've recorded records, full length records in studios where at the end I'm just like, man, this sounds like a fucking demo. How does that
Yeah, how does it?
It's experience and the love too.
I mean,
like
when you're in, it is like cooking. When you're in the room with the right people, I think it changes everything. Who was it? Was it Allen Ginsberg? Was in the studio with the Clash, swinging a ladder around, fucking going crazy. Like, and the Clash, like, it was the most chaotic thing we've ever been through, and it lent to the production of this entire
great thing.
Yeah.
Like I remember Jack Kerouac giving a quote about Allen Ginsberg because they were staying in the same room and it was dark. And Jack Kerouac saying a blowjob in the blowjob was in the dark. It's a blowjob.
Yeah.
Even though he wasn't particularly gay.
He was halfway there.
So like,
yeah, it's just like to read the room and know the room. I feel like I've known you for all of 35 minutes or something, but I feel comfortable around this dude. You're coming to Christmas with me. Mom, we're gay. He doesn't know it yet.
But he smells good.
Oh, yeah.
Mom, do we have any peanut butter?
He's got soft hair. He doesn't know that either. Yeah. I mean, dude, if there wasn't laughter in the world, I would absolutely die. And if there was no laughter of this guy, I would probably just pass away.
Like, I think it's a key thing. And, whatever we're doing, like, I don't really think that fucking matters. If you're a brain surgeon or you're digging a ditch.
If you're laughing in the middle of brain surgery, I would be a little weirded out.
Yeah, but like, like someone who's a brain surgeon or Gizz and I are going to go dig a ditch. We will have we will laugh our ass off digging that ditch.
Yeah.
We'll laugh our ass off making a record.
Mm-hmm.
We'll laugh our ass off no matter what we have to do. It does not matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think all those things are way, way more important than what you're doing.
I agree.
Just having a great time with fucking people.
I mean, there's not a Monday hasn't gone by that every once in a while I'm like, I want to do it tonight. And by the end of the night, it's just therapy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely therapy. I'm like, I feel better about shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It really extends the week to make it a better week. That's why I love Mondays, because
I hate Mondays.
It's a shit day, but it's, for one, the reason we do it is because Monday everybody partied all weekend. Monday's usually the day you're just like, I gotta get that liver, day off,
liver time. We should make a liver sauna. There's liver spa. So you just gotta drink juice all day.
Oh, they're just peeing each other's livers.
Put a little pad where your liver is and just juice it up.
Right.
We did that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
That's true. But that was the bad liver spa. It was happy hour for liver. So what like, I mean, it's hard to ask questions. Like, you've worked for so many people, and I don't want to say like, what was your best experience or your worst experience? Because I don't want you to name names. But like, just overall as an experience in studio with a band and trying to guide them through that sound and the way that you hear it. Take me a little bit through that process. Like,
yeah, like, you know, sometimes the people I'm working with and myself are very aligned. Like we're trying to get to the same place because I'm trying to understand what they do. And so, you know, I'll work with like metal musicians, I'll work with industrial people, I'll work with people doing, you know, Americana stuff. And, you know, I will apply a certain aesthetic to those specific things. I work with a lot of the noise guys, the pure noise guys that have the boxes, right? So, you know, each thing has a specific aesthetic to it. And like, I don't just go like, okay, this is my aesthetic, we're doing it this way, period. I understand what they want to do. I understand, you know, so we try to get there. We try to get to that point. Like, if I can understand where the person wants to go with it, we can get it there.
Right.
Like, if it's there.
Is that describable?
If it's not there,
I mean, like, how does somebody describe that to you? Like, I want to hear this sound. Like, what does that like sound like? You
know, like with Ministry, it was like something like, okay, it always needs to be fucking crazy and aggressive. With like an Americana artist, it needs to be like fluid and
it needs to breathe.
It needs to be a breeze, you know, and it has to have like the song has to be really fucking good to start with. There can't be a crazy amount of effects on the vocals.
No.
That's not going to work.
No,
it's, you know, so,
except for Gizz.
Yeah. But what was interesting with Gizz, like he would do a take, and I was just like, okay, it's not quite there yet. And he's like, don't worry about it, double it. And I was like, okay. We double his fucking vocal, and it would just be like, that's magic. Like,
so you need to like clone yourself to sound good.
When he doubles, like some people don't sound that good doubling.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I remember the first song we did, I think it was Dodgeball at your house. And I was like, all right, I'm going to double. And like, dude, it takes a certain type of animal to do a double.
Yeah.
You know, I don't recommend that you do that. And, you know, I was very adamant about it. Yeah. Right, well, go ahead, try it. And then as soon as I did the double, you're like, come back in. And then you listen to it and you're like, you know what you're doing. All right. Yeah.
It's fucking
So
good.
you like doing?
It's good.
But it's to do a double and do it like
good,
you know,
where it actually works.
Yeah.
Some people it doesn't work. Some
where
people
they all of a sudden they start doing a harmony, you know, because
you know, even if someone's doing a pure double, like sometimes it sounds like a little phasey. It doesn't quite sound like a real double.
Like actually getting all that timing exactly right, singing the same
every
thing
phrase.
But the thing that makes a double work is the difference in timing, the difference in pitch. Yeah. And those things are variable. They constantly change. It's not like, okay, here's all the constantly different timing and constantly different pitch. It doesn't sound like a double. What really sounds like a double is somebody singing a double and the pitch and the timing is constantly changing. Within a certain realm, a certain degree, and then it's going to sound really great, you know. But for people that are trying to do really intimate stuff, I would go like, okay, we shouldn't be doubling this.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
Yeah, like of course your voice will sound great, but it's like it doesn't sound intimate anymore. Yeah. It doesn't sound honest.
When we did Welcome Me Home, that piano piece that you did for us, and I came in and I remember the look on your face where I was like, you know what? I don't want to double the song. I think this is going to sound a lot better if it's just a single vocal.
Yes, it's honest. It sounds honest.
Yeah.
It sounds like you delivering the thing.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to like, oh, here's some studio gimmickry.
Right. And that is one of the most precious parts about music is it is vulnerable. It is honest.
Yes,
you're giving your soul out, and you're professing everything, and that honesty has to be real.
It should be, yeah, for sure, sure.
And that's what I think. What we love about music and what we take away from it is the honesty in it.
Yes,
you know? You can tell when there's a band, and you're like, dude, I'm not buying it.
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I remember
Oh, man.
another story was when we were doing the second. We were going to do a second record with you in 2000. We had a different drummer and just shit wasn't working out. But there was one song that we were kind of working on, and I remember singing it, and we finished the song, and we were in the mix, and then you and I were sitting there, and you're like, "This song's not working," and I asked you why, and you go, "Because you're singing this from someone else's standpoint. You never experienced heartbreak, so you can't sing the song. Like I'm not buying it from you, And we dropped the whole recording, but like at that point, I was just like, wow, that hurt because it was like I'm here trying my ass off to sing a song, but later on, I remember I think that stayed with me because like then it became about that. Like if I'm gonna sing something, it has to be honest.
With writers, they tell writers, write about what you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't make some shit up because you're not going to get it right. Write about what you know.
Hemingway, Bukowski, Kerouac, those guys all
wrote about what they knew.
They were, on the
Bukowski
road.
is amazing. He wrote about being an alcoholic.
Yep.
He fucking was an alcoholic.
A hateful piece of shit. He's like, that's who I am.
That's who he is.
He's good at it.
Yeah.
He's really good at it.
So when are you going to become a songwriter?
Yeah, I know, right? I'm a huge asshole. Well, Gizz asked me once because he's a pretty phenomenal drummer, and I have a drum set, and I can keep a beat. He said, why don't you play drums? And I was like, well, I never could make them sound the way I thought they should sound. And I tried enough that I was like, I'll keep them around. I'll jam with them and screw around. But it's kind of that thing like, that
not there.
I don't have that in me.
Yeah.
It's not there. I really prefer bass over guitar, and he thinks I'm a shitty guitar player, but he can't play anything other than drums.
Yeah. And sing.
Oh, well, a little bit.
Yeah.
Tom Waits.
I can play the skin flute too.
Have you worked with Tom Waits?
No.
Oh, we're talking about.
I know. I would love to.
Yeah.
He's.
If you
amazing.
do, you have to call.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
He's great. He's fucking. He's like, he's really high on my list. Like Bjork.
Oh
also
yeah.
is really high on my list.
What is her name?
Portishead, band like that. It's just like those things are just like they're way heads and tails above.
Yeah.
Most things.
There's a new Norwegian artist. I can't remember her name right now. I'll look it up after the show and show you. She's phenomenal. She's very Bjorkish. She likes to sing in nature. And somebody at one point said, well, we have a crowd. Do you want to go do the song? And she says, yeah, it was the men's choir. That she didn't know it was the men's choir. And so they sang along with her. And she was in tears by the end of the thing. And I'm like, wow.
There's a certain artist. I don't know if she's American or not, but I've seen some YouTube videos. And she does go into nature. They have a setup similar to what we have here. And she records everything outside. Like and away from the city, on a plateau and a mountain, and just singing. I was like, "Fuck, I don't think I could do that."
I'm a huge fan of. Do you know Vespertine by Bjork?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a massive fan of that, and like after she did that, that was kind of the peak. Like, what else can you fucking do? Like, we're not going to get any. So she toned it back down. It was like distortion with a drum machine, just sort of like. But Vespertine, she sang some of those vocals like they gave her this long cable, and she went in this cave and sang the vocals.
Oh wow!
It's interesting because everybody thinks you gotta have like a perfectly dead room, blah blah blah. There's stuff you can do, man. You can get out. Like, I mean, how many times has anybody you played a guitar in a bathroom, Joey?
Yeah.
That echo, Joey. It sounds so cool.
Joey Ramici, he always had a guitar in a bathroom.
Oh.
And that's where he wrote most of his songs. Huh? So if he was talking to you and you're like, hey man, hey Gizz, I just wrote this. I'm going over the song right now. Wait, hold on. What was that? Courtesy Flush.
Well, thank you. Yeah,
like,
I mean, everybody's.
It doesn't matter. Like, I'd rather listen to like a shitty recording by Joy Division where the synth's out of tune and they're playing live and it's really honest than an amazing recording by somebody where nothing's fucking happening.
Exactly.
That's
how hearing passion is something like, and I do equate music and food to abstract language. Like you're feeling passion, you're tasting passion.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Those
yes,
are the
it's
things
going
that
beyond the thing.
you're just putting your heart and soul into it. And
Yeah.
every once in a while it sucks. Every once in a while you're like, oh, that was
For
fucking
sure,
terrible.
for
Why did I do
sure.
that?
Like we'll do the best we can with this, but it's not going to be fucking great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's all right.
it's just fun to hear a sound guy go, you don't have to be in a studio.
No, you don't.
know?
For sure.
Those magic
It
buttons.
it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You know, I'm a massive fan of Daniel Lanois. Do you know Daniel Lanois' work? Okay, so Daniel Lanois did "So" by Peter Gabriel.
Okay.
He worked on 2 Dylan records.
Wow.
One of them won 5 Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
He worked on Amy Lee Howard's record.
Oh, I love him.
He's worked on pretty much all the U2 records.
Wow.
Unforgettable. He's worked with a lot of people.
I need to do this right now.
Let's say this.
Lemon.
Yeah, right. And like his whole thing, like he never wants to go into a studio where there's some glass and it's a perfect sounding studio. He'll record shit in the kitchen. He'll set up some things somewhere and record somewhere because he's interested in talking with people and communicating with people. He doesn't want to have to go on the talkback and go like, hello, are you there?
Yeah.
You know, he wants to fucking talk with them and have some interaction with them.
And you've recorded at your house. Have you ever done the thing where you start playing music and making music and start to move the furniture around and see how it changes the room?
No.
Oh, that's
He's
so
a
much
fucking
fun.
pro, dude.
I know, but it's fun to do that. Yeah.
How you gonna move a church pew?
I don't think I really don't think that matters in the end. Like,
well, when you're drunk as shit at 3 o'clock in the morning and high in acid,
yeah,
it changes all the colors
for sure. But overall, it's probably not.
No, it doesn't matter at all. It's just a question.
It's either good or it's not good.
Well, we've got in the back of my shop, current shop. Do you know Kerry Brown, Licorice Pizza?
No,
he's actually building a studio.
Do you remember the band Catherine?
They used to tour with Smashing Pumpkins.
No.
Well, he's one of those people that is like, he's one of the most famous people you've never met or heard of, kind of things. He had Mick Fleetwood in his studio in Maui recently.
Smashing Pumpkins gave him recognition that they heard what he said was the muff. That pedal?
Oh yeah, the pedal, the muff pedal, yeah.
And
they're on to it.
And that's what Smashing Pumpkins was like. Oh shit!
He produced Pisces Iscariot for them. Just interesting, you guys travel in the same world and don't know each other.
Yeah.
You can come by and check it out. There's a record press back there.
You never know.
Oh, come by shop.
You fucking never know. You never know who you're talking to. You know, I took a class at UCLA at one point with Matt Wallace. So Matt Wallace produced
Alzheimer's.
No,
not yet.
Event.
That's me.
Do I need to piss on your brain?
He produced what was that band from San Francisco? You can have it all, but you can't stand it. Faith No More.
Oh, yeah.
So that was his big band
Okay.
that he produced to start with. Then eventually he produced, what are those crazy guys? Crazy band. Crazy.
Slipknot?
No. Paul Westerberger.
Replacements.
Replacements.
Oh,
So
that's where I know that name then.
And you know, Matt did also maybe Alzheimer's. What's the other band? They've won like 5 Grammys now.
Quit pointing at him just because he got one question.
No.
Well,
he's like replacements.
he answered 2.
Yeah. All right.
So anyways, so Matt's produced all these people, right? And I asked Matt, and so after the class, Matt and I became like, I played something in the class and they were like, holy fuck. So Matt and I became good friends. So he invited me down to the studio, and, we talked eventually. And, I was like, what do you get for a record? And he was like 60 or 70 grand. And I was like, what's that involved? And he's like, about 2 months. It's about $1,000 a day. And I was like, how many of those records get released? And he was like, less than half.
Yeah.
Like their label's all excited about them, and then it gets shelved. Like once we're done.
Overwhelming.
Meanwhile, the fucking band has spent like $150,000 in the studio, $60,000 on Matt, and then the record's not getting released
At all.
So yeah,
Yeah.
So that's kind of what happens, along the way.
Yeah, we had Dan Reed on from Color Fast, and Butch Vig did their first record, and then lined up behind them was Nirvana. So they kind of, he's like, oh yeah, here you go.
Let's
Right?
rush. I gotta
Nirvana.
rush through this.
And they never hit it, and it's like they're
No.
such a great band.
And we know about Nirvana.
Yeah.
Turns out,
but we don't know. And Butch has probably done a ton of other bands since then. A
I'm
ton of
sure
other
he
bands.
has.
And we're never fucking going to hear about them. I mean, because that's kind of how it is.
Well, like I said, if you don't know somebody, you're probably not going to get very far. Like
even if you
you're
know,
really good.
even if you know somebody, like let's say you know everyone in the industry and everyone at all the radio stations. Let's say you know everyone. If you've got shit to offer them, like maybe they'll give it a go, but it's not going to go so far.
It's not guaranteed to get
No.
pushed.
If it's really good and you don't know anybody, you know nobody, and it's really good, it will fucking go.
Yeah.
And the record we did, I thought that was fucking great. The songs were great.
Lonely Street.
Lonely Street.
Yeah.
I was always really surprised that they never got any airplay.
I was
40
surprised
ounces
too.
got a little bit, but not.
Yeah, but
But still, like not the whole record.
Mm.
Like the when I tried to work with you guys, like 'cause you guys went on tour, you guys came back all fucked up, and I tried.
They started out that way.
Yeah, right. They started out that way, but it was even.
When we
worse
came
when
back.
they
When we came
like,
back, we were drug addicts.
What's his name? Couldn't stand up. Like he's like
Chris?
not even no Ike.
Oh,
Couldn't fucking stand up straight.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
tuned his guitar and was
Yeah.
just like, oh my god, like what? And like at that point, I was working with the band for free.
Yeah.
Because I thought like, okay, this is going to be fucking
You were
good.
well,
This is
see,
gonna yeah,
what
I was invested in it.
and I don't know if we've ever discussed it, but what hurt me the most about that recording session in 2000 was that you had asked the band, look, I'm not going to charge you.
Mhm.
All I'm asking, rent good equipment so it sounds good. And nobody listened to you.
Nope.
And everybody came in with the fucking shitty shit. And
Yeah.
you tried and tried and tried. And finally, Ike was doing a solo over Chris's rhythms, which were shit.
They were
Because
shit to start with.
his fucking guitar would not stay in tune.
Oh.
And you're just like, you know what? I'm had enough. Just everybody out.
So you were the
and-
first band that got thrown in his studio.
Most
Yeah,
likely.
maybe the second.
But I remember being.
At least I didn't pay them to leave.
I stayed.
You never
I stayed until you peed on me.
We never even fucking got to the vocal.
No,
I don't think.
No, we
because
didn't.
The basic thing was not working.
we never even got to
Wow.
bass because we with Lazlo was drums, guitar, bass,
Yeah.
vocal,
Yeah.
and we never even got to bass.
Nope.
Me and Steve never even got to do a lick of anything,
Right.
and we were out. And I was so hurt by that because I told the guy weeks prior, like, dude, are you guys looking
spend
into your
some fucking
rentals?
money.
Or borrow equipment. We
Oh,
know a
whatever
lot
you
of
need to do.
know a lot of people.
Yeah.
And the thing that you're most upset about was that green SG that Chris would always play, and that fucking thing never stayed in
Dude,
tune.
GS.
And you were just like, dude, just bring in a fucking 5 guitars,
Anything. Yeah.
anything besides what you have.
Yeah.
Anything that doesn't have a sticker on it.
Oh no. My favorite guitar in the whole world is one I've had since I was 16 years old, and it's a Japanese Strat. It will not stay in tune, no matter what. I've rebuilt it a dozen times.
Yeah.
I started buying like gold shallow hardware for it. I'm like, I'm gonna make this thing right, and figured out that
It
so you
doesn't work.
cut the center out, and there's a big MDF chunk right in the middle, and it had a Floyd Rose on it, so it's been cut out for that. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna put this back together, and I'm gonna put it on my wall.
Yeah.
Because it's embarrassing to be like, I can't get through a song.
I have a great story about a guitar. So I was recording this band, and the singer was going out with Graham Nash's daughter. So I was like, when you're gonna come in next time, like maybe Graham can lend us some guitars. So Graham lent us a bunch of guitars, like from the Hollies.
Oh,
He played in the
man.
Hollies, and so he lent us this one Strat, or this one Les Paul, and it was the second Les Paul standard. I don't know all the guitars, but anyways, it was the second Les Paul standard ever made. Jimmy Page originally owned it. He gave it as a gift to Neil Young, who
Sold it for
eventually
weed.
sold it to Graham Nash. So we had it in the studio, and the kid was putting stickers all over it and leaving it on the church pew out. And I was just like, that's a fucking, that's
a sin.
fucking sin. You know,
You're
that's a
gonna-
very
Oh.
serious guitar. Like, and the guitar sounded great. And then, you know, so we finished the recording, or we got somewhere along the way in the recording. And then they went to New York. They played South by Southwest. And, you know, so they played that show, and the taxi driver was like, oh, just throw all the instruments in the trunk. You know, so they were going out. Yep. And they were going out to supper. They went out to supper. They said goodbye. Taxi driver drove off with that.
A historical.
Fuck.
An historical artifact.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, you know,
That guy's going to rock and roll hell. He's going to be stuck with Ingve the whole time.
and
No, Chris Long.
I didn't say it this time.
I just saw him a couple weeks ago. We chatted, so we're good.
No, you're not.
Now I can talk shit about him.
No, fuck that guy.
Now I can actually say his name without throwing up.
That's not true. Wow, that is a terrible, horrible story.
It's a terrible, and you know, like Graham went on VH1 and like tried to get the guitar back. I don't know what happened to
It
him.
went to a pawn shop.
But imagine, like, you got to call Graham Nash and tell him,
Yeah.
I lost the guitar. I left it in the taxi.
I lost the guitar that Jimmy Page started with. Like,
And Neil Young.
what? And Neil Young. Like, oh my God.
I'm more impressed about the Neil Young.
Right?
Dude,
It's still.
that's a
it's
machete
still-
dick moment. Like, just done. Don't, you're
What
never
do
going to
you
get
do?
hired anywhere. You don't.
What do you do
I
after
mean,
that?
what's that worth?
It's priceless.
You can't
Price-
put a value on that.
Price-
No.
Prices.
And the taxi driver didn't know what the hell it was.
No,
Right.
he probably sold it for like
Like
$400 or
$100.
$500.
Yeah, he took it to
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
the first pawn shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a
That's all.
blowjob.
Yeah.
Yeah, pissed on.
From some weird
Got a hickey
fucking
and-
dude.
Some fucking peanut butter on his taint. You know? And
Taint butter.
then finished his route.
Fuck. Ugh.
Oh god.
That just hurts, man. I mean, so when people do come into the studio, like, what are you looking for equipment? Are you looking for newer stuff, vintage stuff? Like, how do you kind of judge what's about to happen sound wise?
I mean, you know, if they have something that's good, and like, you know, I'll always get them to set their shit up first.
Yeah.
If it really just doesn't sound good, I was like, okay, you know, we've got these other things here. You can try all these amps, or you could try this bass thing, or whatever, or these drums, you know, like, but I'll always start at least with what somebody has
Mhm.
first, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
You know.
The last time I was here, well, not the last time, but when we were here with Bad Town Boys to do the Ramones tribute, I set up my kit in the live room, and you were like, all right, okay, let's get a sound check. And I went, you know, around the horn, you know,
Mhm.
bass drum, floor toms, and everything. All right, let's hear that snare. And I was drinking, and I was like, all right, hold on a second, and I dropped my stick on the snare. You're like, what the fuck? And you walked in, and you're like, whoa, what kind of snare is that? And it was my black Mapex, and you're like, fuck, hit that, you know, and I fucking just hit it, and then you're like, all right, now hit it
Like a man.
Well, don't hit it with your
Hit it with your purse.
Don't hit it with your purse this time.
Lipstick out,
And I was
Gizz.
like, oh shit! So, bam! You're like, dude, that thing sounds great. Like, don't do anything to it.
Yeah.
You know, it was in tune.
Yeah.
You know, it had that black Evans head on there,
Yeah.
but every time we would finish one of my tracks, you're like, best thing about that sound is your snare.
Yeah. You
which
never
which
fucking
was
know.
which was a problem when we did the first Bad Town Boys record with you, was I wasn't hitting that snare hard enough. We're like, you know,
Maybe
you know,
yeah.
like you
Maybe
need
grow a pair
you
or
really
one.
need to hit that.
like a
'Cause,
man.
Yeah. Fuck. man.
He's my favorite drum muppet of all time.
Really?
Oh, he just did drum muppet moments. He's just,
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody that is the same discoloration emotionally as I am. When he gets behind that drum set, that is a happy fucking dog.
Yeah.
He's just a big old
Like,
man. It's
I
like,
don't know him as a drummer,
Mm-mm,
because
Oh.
that came a lot later.
mhm,
right.
You know.
It's I'm like, wow, like my homie's like, look, he's fucking happy. I'm gonna give him shit for this.
we went to lunch earlier, my lady and I, and we were talking, and she's like, hey, you're really missing drums, aren't you? And I was just like, well, like Michael's one of only 2 engineers for producers that I've ever worked with who's done drums and vocals for me.
Mm.
You know, and I like that. Like, I have history with you,
Mhm.
and on both spectrums, the drummer and a singer.
You're on the spectrums.
You know, I'm such a moron. Jesus Christ.
More on or more off?
I'm gonna pee. I'm gonna pee on you. I'm not even gonna tell you where later.
Don't worry, I
Or
know
you're
where
gonna
you
get
sleep.
a hickey, one of the two.
one thing,
On my ankle?
one thing that I know I asked you fucking a dozen years ago. Who is your go-to when if you're having an issue like, oh man, I don't know what I can do with this recording session. Like, do you go and listen to like a certain album or certain artist where you're just like, oh, okay, now this is like it's washed over me now, and, now this is what I'm gonna go and try to get. Because what I loved about you the first time I recorded with you was when we were doing I just got one when we were doing the mix. You said bring in like 2 or 3 of your favorite records. That way, I know what you're kind of looking for. Especially during a mix. And I just remember bringing Doughboys. And it was like, oh wow, okay, this is what you're really going for. And there's no hiding it. And I remember we were talking about you, and I was like, what do you like, Brian Eno?
Like it depends on the thing. Like, if I'm mixing a band that's like Linkin Park, then I'll listen to Linkin Park. I'll compare it to Linkin Park. If I'm mixing, like your thing, then okay, you're into the Doughboys, and you really love the Doughboys, obviously. So I'll check that out. And maybe you're not going to be the Doughboys, and maybe it's a different thing. But at least I'll see like the aesthetic of like, what's going on with the Doughboys. What is it that Gizz likes about the Doughboys? What is it?
Kind of an aesthetic reference kind of thing.
Yeah, I remember the one we were doing the Lonely Street record, and you asked me to bring in some records, and I brought in 2 Doughboys records, and we went home, and the next morning I was the first one there with you. We had breakfast, and we started setting up for the day, and you're like, yeah, listen to that fucking Happy Accents record. Dude, what the fuck? Way too much reverb on everything. What did these guys do? Okay, we're gonna record the drums with reverb. Oh, yeah, the bass player, guitar players. Oh, let's do some reverb. Oh, vocalist. We're definitely gonna do some reverb. All right, we're gonna mix. All right, let's do the final make with a lot of reverb.
And then put a chorus on.
Oh, we're gonna master. Let's put some reverb on the master. And like, Jesus Christ, there's so much reverb on this shit.
It's kind of like a bit of an late 80s, early 90s kind of thing.
That was early 90s.
Early 90s, okay. Because like I do all the big stuff, Beauty and Chaos stuff. So we've done that, and like, we've had like on the first record we had Robin Zander from Cheap Trick, Al Jorgensen, Wayne Hussey from Sisters of Mercy.
Oh my God, that piano song you did with him.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh my God, huh?
1959.
No, Wayne Hussey, he did this track with Michael, and you played piano on it, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
But that's what inspired me to do Welcome Me Home. Like,
didn't I sing you that after?
Well, because you heard the guitar version, and then you sent me that, and you said, "This is
right.
This is the direction
yeah. What we're doing.
This needs to be, because this is not working with guitar. This is a piano song."
Yeah.
And then a couple days later, I heard, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
Too, right? Like you said, lap steel.
Pedal steel, and lap steel, and acoustic guitar,
that is one of my
and
favorite.
Vibes, and drums, and guitar, and
Trumpet,
bass,
trombone.
keyboard. No, I don't play any wind instruments.
The rusty trombone.
Yeah, I was reading that. I was like, wow. I mean, I love lap and pedal steel. I think it's one of the coolest sounds, and I love hearing when people are listening to a song and they're like, God, what would be really cool on that, and they find a different instrument to figure it out with
to make that sound.
That is just an impressive skill.
I played on Jerry Cantrell's record. There's about 4 tracks on there, and then we did 3 tours. We did Tour of America, we did a tour of Europe, and then we did America again. And I was playing pretty much pedal steel, lap steel, and acoustic. Probably a third of the time.
Mhm.
So on the heavy, really heavy tracks, I was playing the lap steel through like a really distorted amp.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
It was just gnarly.
I mean, I love the layout. I love the way it
Yeah.
looks.
Great.
How hard is that to learn?
Pedal steel.
Well, when you got talent, it's natural.
So you're out of this?
Oh, you cunt.
I'm faster than you are.
Well,
Like
pedal,
both, really.
pedal steel, like either
what
you'll
your
become an
girlfriend
alcoholic
told me.
or you'll get divorced.
Oh, really?
I've had both of those things happen.
Okay. I heard bagpipes do that too.
Yeah, probably.
It's midnight. What are you doing? Practicing.
Probably.
But he plays bagpipes all wrong. He goes, oh.
Oh, fuck. I think that's insensitive, Gizz. You're going to get counseled.
It's very insensitive when you're the pipe.
Oh, man. I got a lot of teeth. It's eating corn.
Like you're shucking corn over there.
What do you have in the works? What's coming up with you anytime soon?
There's a bunch of things going on. I've got to do 32 cues for a film by June, July 1st. So that's going on. I'm still working on a record with the guy who's the head guy in all the noise scene is Merzbow, right? And so I'm working on a record with Bastard Noise and Merzbow. Bastard Noise I've been working with for
He's done a bunch
over
of those
10
guys,
years. Yeah. So I've done a lot of things with him, but he, Eric is really good friends with Masami Merzbow, and so we're doing that. Probably a bunch of other things going on too, but it's like I don't know.
Alzheimer's.
Probably.
I call it Boozheimer's.
Yeah.
One more question from me is there an artist that you've done like the most recordings with, like pretty much their whole like repertoire, like all their discography? Is there a band like you've done more than say 3 records with?
Yeah. With Ministry, like I did 4.5 records.
4.5.
Yeah,
You
because
got fired?
No, I quit.
Oh damn! Dude, all right, relax,
I
fucker.
quit.
Don't
No, I'm
give
gonna
me
hear
that
that fucking
look.
story
I quit
now.
a couple of weeks ago.
Really? Look at you getting all tough. Quit a
I
couple
like
weeks
this.
ago.
No, this is good. This is a good place to be at.
Yeah.
Did you punch anybody?
No.
Did you want to?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Elle and I were hilarious together. Like we had such a fucking amazing time together. It's like I probably don't want to get into like how we, why I quit in the end, because we don't have like.
He's not watching. I guarantee it.
Well, he may. So it's like I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
In the end, it's not that important. And I quit before. Like I quit after we did the second record. Like the mastering guy wasn't calling me, and the mastering was fucking terrible. And he was like, and I was just like, I kept calling him, texting him, everything, and he wouldn't respond to me. And I was just like, I'll fucking quit. Like I'll quit, And then, at some point, Liz was Al's girlfriend, and she was like, oh, she came over to the house, and she was like, Al wants to record these vocals, and I was like, I fucking quit. Like I quit.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I fucking do that. I knew you were gonna quit. Please just come back and talk to him. And I get along great with Al, so went back and talked with him. We caught up on everything. He's like, okay, I want to give you this much more money. You can choose the mastering guy. You can be the co-producer of the album. There was a fourth thing, and I was just like,
okay. You can bring your own peanut butter.
I can bring my own peanut butter.
You can choose which balls you want.
Yeah. I only got one.
By the way, I want to say this on air. I'm not going to mention the name, but our mutual friend who has,
yes.
Another one ball?
Lewis.
Oh, I did not know this until our last tour. That he got a nudicle.
What is that?
The fuck is a nudicle?
prosthetic.
A
testicle.
prosthetic.
So
one?
he still has 2 technically. So he's not part of our club.
So does his wife know that then?
I mean,
Probably.
well,
maybe.
Probably.
You know what? Yeah,
Probably.
Yeah.
Like she's got to go like.
Obviously she knows because because he doesn't have one. She doesn't have that stroke look.
Yeah.
Lewis, I love you. These guys are assholes.
I don't have that stroke look.
Huh?
I don't have that stroke look.
Oh well, maybe he.
Oh
So
my
I'm really
God.
sucking on one ball.
Degradation over here.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. Michael, you're on a desert island. You get 1 record. What is it?
It might be a Tom Waits. It might be Tom Waits' Mule Variations, or it might be Vespertine.
Yeah. Those are good answers, man.
Yeah.
Vespertine.
Gizz is one of the Hanson brothers.
Hanson.
I swear to God, when that red light goes
He's
off,
probably like thinking Doughboys or something.
Yeah, probably.
Doughboy, Sam, Leatherface.
I'm going the
Snuff.
River, Springsteen.
Springsteen.
Really?
Yeah.
You're a Springsteen fan?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a fucking living god. I saw he did did you see the Netflix thing he did?
No.
He did a sit down with an acoustic and Netflix and just did like an interview with just himself. And he opens up the thing and he goes, I just want everybody to understand, like, and he got to do it in his voice. Because I just want everybody to understand, like, those songs, they're just songs. That wasn't me. I grew up in Jersey.
Yeah.
It's like, those are just songs that I wrote. And he opens up with that. It's like,
there's songs about what he finds important.
Exactly.
Because he's written those lyrics. So
of course.
He finds those things important.
I mean, I always imagined he like just traveled around like Jack Kerouac and had race cars and banged women. You know what I mean? Like, dude, when you listen to the body of work, you're like, yeah, that guy's fucking badass. And just like, he's the guy from Jersey who wrote a bunch of songs. Yeah. And it's a really interesting interview. If you get a chance, I would watch it. It's like, wow, holy shit. Like talking about his dad and like how he got to where he is. And
like, I appreciate Springsteen, but I don't like all the stuff he's done. Like what he did the solo record where it's really part down. It's not the record.
The Ghost of Tom Joad?
No. He did like it was on a 4-track or something.
Oh wow.
It was like a really pared down record. And it's just like
is it just too not so much?
It's just like
well, that was like Johnny 99
here.
And some of those songs are actually really like, okay, dude, there's not much going on there.
Yeah.
And I did not like the whole Philadelphia era. I'm just like, come on, dude, we have a Billy Joel.
But I appreciate who he is and what he's done.
What he's lent to music is amazing.
I love the way
Born to Run's amazing.
Oh,
it's unbelievable.
I love the way he talks about Stevie Van Zandt.
Stevie, yeah.
Who doesn't practice between tours?
No. I'm
like, what the fuck?
Who needs to?
I've been blessed enough to talk on the phone with him like 4 times, and that guy is fucking cool. Funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Dude, fucking Stevie's fucking.
You should get on his little Stevie's Garage. It'll be a fun one. Bet you guys have some cross path stories.
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't been involved in that many big people's lives.
We're pretty big.
What is the biggest record? Have you asked you that already? What the biggest record you've ever done?
What's your viewership?
I don't have like 3.
Right now, how many people are watching this right now?
4.
4?
Including us?
Yeah, including us.
2.
Yeah. Great.
Our viewership is like Tuesday.
Great. Yeah, people catch up with it during the week and they get to like 120, 140 sometimes. We had, I think Luigi was the biggest one we had.
Yeah, from Suicidal.
Yeah.
Last week was our numbers were 274.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't look for Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't matter what you do in the end or who adheres to it or who buys it. What's important is like do something fucking good.
Yeah.
That's what really matters in the end of the day. You don't have to be Katy Perry. She's fucking terrible.
I know.
It's like
I wasn't gonna say that out loud.
Okay.
But didn't she come in like a wrecking ball?
Just do something
that was
good.
Miley Cyrus wrote Wrecking Ball?
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus.
She wrote that song about us.
Wrecking Ball.
No, I get it. It's like do what you're passionate about and mean it. You know, like,
Huh?
do what you're passionate about. It. Throw your heart and soul into it. You know, like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. Exactly. Maybe it'll go somewhere. Maybe it won't. Maybe you're a fucking psychopath. Maybe not. It's fine though. But like, do something at the end of the day that means something to you.
Yeah.
Don't just do it for the fucking money, because that may not come anyways.
Yeah.
If you do something and you fucking love it and the money comes, great, awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, then you've got two things. If you do something you love and no money comes, that at least you have something you love.
You left
that
a body of work behind.
Yes, that you've done. You know.
So who's the newest artist that you like currently? That you like, you kind of see like a lot of something and not Katy Perry.
Dead ones.
Oh yeah,
Well,
that's a good one.
Amy Winehouse was amazing.
Oh, wow.
No, alive ones, like
She was
current
amazing.
alive ones.
Okay, alive. Well, Bjork and Tom Waits are still
Well,
alive.
yeah, of course, but like
New ones.
yeah, you know, there's not a lot of new music.
There's a lot of people that sing really good, but they kind of sound like
thank you.
what other, they sound like other people. So it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's great. They're a great singer. I appreciate that. But you sound like this person that's been around for 20 years, whatever.
Isn't that but a bitch when there's so many bands out there, especially when we started recording with you and we did that one compilation on Fearless, the Fearless Flush Sampler, and we presented you one of them because you know one of our songs was on, two of our songs were on there, and you're just like, wow, man, like everybody here sounds like Fat Mike or Mike Ness,
Right?
you know, like your voice is the only one that doesn't sound like
That doesn't sound like that.
you know.
I mean, I think that's the thing. In the end of the day, is like finding
Your voice,
your your voice.
literally, like
Yes, that goes a long way, because it's not just in the voice. It's a lot of things, you know.
Well, again, there's that the vulnerability to it where you're like letting loose.
Yes.
And you're saying, this is who I am. And you have to be unabashedly aware of that and just.
I got to pee.
I bet.
oh shit.
Well, that concludes tonight's segment.
Yeah. Do you need me to take my shoe off? This is the first time a guest has ever walked out.
I know. We drank a whole bottle of wine.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
And he peed?
I think he was peeing when he left.
Dude, take your balls out of his cup.
They won't fit in there. It's too small. Because I have two. Well, we've got to thank our sponsors. Do the sponsor
Oh,
thing,
shit, we didn't even
dickhead.
do that
Fucking
this morning.
asshole.
This morning? God damn.
This morning.
Be sure to
Like and subscribe.
Hey, be sure to like. Be sure to USA
Schecter!
Custom Shop as estimated.
The fuck room am I in all of a sudden?
I just got drunk.
Just?
Yeah.
You woke up that way.
Be sure to like and subscribe our shit. Our sponsors, thank you to Headline Records, Transplants Brewing,
Fucking give me the goddamn.
MEOWZ, Riot Inc., the Licorice Pizza, and the Tattoo Room.
Yeah, babies.
And hey, Sean, are you alive?
Yeah, it'd be really nice to hear from you, buddy. I miss you. I hope you're okay.
Oh, I hope you're one of the four. And if you're part of the four, hopefully it's this one.
For what? People that like you?
People that are watching.
I mean, we're in the room.
motherfucker.
We're gonna have to like full on lucha wrestling match at some point.
Me and you?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
Fucking just
Naked.
fucking
Oh,
no. I'm not gonna slide off your ball.
Slip it. Yeah.
Kick back, Greg, again. You sick fuck.
Dude, did you see the new Black Flag shirt?
I don't like him.
It's this Black Flag, and it has the cast of Saved by the Bell.
Oh, this is Saving Private Ryan.
No, Saved by the Bell. Because you saw the new lineup, right?
No, I
The
did
Black
not.
Flag?
No.
It's Greg Ginn and like 3 teenagers.
Is Chuck still
it-
doing it?
No,
Oh.
we're talking about Black Flag, not Flag.
Chuck's in
Greg
flag
Ginn.
now, right?
Huh? Chuck's in Flag
Yeah.
with Bill Stevenson, Steven Egerton,
Yeah.
and
Keith.
yeah.
And they're
And,
awesome. Go see
The
him.
Black Flag is Greg Ginn and 3 teenagers, which is very creepy.
I'm not even going to say what I was going to say. Like, for once, I'm going to shut up. That's how good that was going to go.
Let's end it on that. You've never been speechless.
Oh, it's still going.
What time is it?
It's 4:15.
4:20. It's 4:20. Oh shit!
All right, well, he's back. Wait, did you dribble at all? Let me check.
You can check.
Did you wash your hands?
No.
Good man. You know what's funny about that? Is
Oh, you did it!
wash your hands after you pee.
And I know you're right-handed.
My dick started
At
clean.
least I didn't pee on your foot.
Oh
Does this smell like wine?
no, it smells like semen.
How do you know it's semen?
You didn't pee.
Speed-Semen-Clove-Factory. Oh, he knows it.
Oh man.
He asked the question, Gizz.
What?
How do you know how semen smells?
Yeah. I know how it tastes too.
Oh.
I've been to jail.
That's probably more than you want to know.
I've been to jail, but
That's how I got out.
that's how you got it
Out of
in.
the closet.
Well, we're about at our time limit here. Do you got anybody you want to plug?
Yeah.
Nope. Fuck you guys.
Anybody want to say hi to?
Yep, everybody sucks. Want to sell a t-shirt? Like the one you're wearing for $20? I know a guy. Nope.
I'd buy your underwear, but I know you don't wear any.
Oh.
Oh.
So we wake up, man. One
See,
sock
he's
at a
right about
time.
that.
Yeah. One sock at a time.
That's a man who's done more than one record.
Jesus. Jesus.
Record for gangbang.
Oh.
Where are we going? Where are we going?
Straight
Jumbo.
to fucking hell, man.
Oh.
All right, it's the end of Monday. We're gonna tune out and tune up and Gizz down and Michael Rozon, everybody.
Oh.
Fucking
Thank
legend.
you so much, brother.
Yeah, dude, thank you.
Seriously, you are one of my favorite people. Oh. Like, there's only two people.
I won't hold it against you.
There's only two people in my life who I was drinking with Michael or I was drinking with Leo. Those are the only two ones that it's like you're gonna get a great story.
You mean old Broken Foot?
One more story before we leave.
Oh shit.
I remember I was at Nightingale Studio one night and I was outside smoking a cigarette and you were walking up, I think going to the liquor store or get something to eat from your old house. And you passed by and I was like, hey, Michael. And you're like, the fuck are you doing here? It was that day was actually my bachelor party. That we were
Really?
having, yeah.
His first husband.
She was a man. But oh my god. I remember we talked for about 10 minutes and we just started laughing again.
Yeah, I seem to remember that.
Like every time we
It
hang
was,
out,
it was a while after, we didn't work.
we hadn't worked together in fucking like,
Yeah,
at least
yeah.
a decade.
A long time. Yeah.
But you just walked by and I saw you and I was like, oh, shit, should I say hi?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Hey, Michael, what the fuck are you doing here? You're already half in the bag.
Yeah, probably most of the time. There's only so many people you meet on Earth that mean something to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it goes.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, but that's how it really goes.
Mm-hmm.
And you're one of those people that actually means something to me, to my life.
And as do you. I remember when you were going through your health issues that we called each other and talked to each other and supported each other and those are our days and stories and conversations that are gonna stay with me forever. Because of you.
It was fucking serious. It was like
You in all reality, you gave me a voice that I've taken like to the next level.
You've always had that. You're always like a go-getter. You're always like, well, I'm doing this, I'm doing this.
And
you're always fucking doing something. And it's just like, what's Gizz up to now? He's fucking doing a million things. Like, so
you started that passion because it was like, this is what I can sound like.
I think that was there anyways. I mean, maybe I gave it a push or something, but
you did.
I
you
think
gave me the confidence.
Maybe, but
I like syrup. You like peanut butter.
Yeah, my balls. Yeah.
Balls?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
I know. I had this strange
Talking about
feeling. that
ancient history
one
now.
drunken night, it was like, let's compare our ball.
I came
On
in
your
like
show.
a wrecking ball.
But you're always doing that anyways. So like that's how I see you. It's like I see you as like, okay, well, Gizz is fucking doing all these things. Like nothing's fucking stopping him.
Mm-mm.
He's
Oh.
fucking doing a million things.
The cops are stopping him a lot.
Maybe.
What? the
Especially
fuck
the
did you say?
ice isn't down.
I know. You gotta hide.
It's like he doesn't fucking stop
Woo!
though. So it's like, okay, great, awesome. That's how to take life. It's like don't say no to things, say yes.
Mhm.
And you know, when I was going through like incredible depression, you know, one of my dear friends just said, say yes to everything. And it was like, that was fucking monumental.
Mhm.
It was just like, oh yeah, okay, I know. And I said yes to my friend Chris. It was like, okay, I have this band. I have to go downtown and produce. Do you want to engineer this thing? I know you've never been in the studio. It's a 10-piece band. The people are not going to be there, so you got to figure it out. And I was like, okay,
Yep.
yes, sure,
Mhm.
sure, I'll do it. And it, you know, I had to fucking crawl around on the back of the wires to get everything working. Eventually, I got 10 musicians working. Eventually, I was just like, okay, you probably should be fucking doing this.
There you
This
go.
is what you should be doing, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck it.
All right, before we leave, what did Sharif say? I can't read it.
Long one. Go back up.
He said, one regret I had is you, Mike, had said Matt Wallace was curious about me at the time I recorded Buford with you, and he asked me if I'd be interested in talking to him. I was so young, I just blew it off. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh wow.
No, of course
I don't even know who the fuck Matt Wallace is.
We just talked about that. You're pretty
Yeah,
Shut
yeah,
up,
yeah.
I'm trying to be funny.
You're not funny.
Jesus Christ.
I'm funny.
But looks aren't everything.
Fair enough, Tubby.
Michael's trying to read it in French.
En français.
One regretto.
Una regretto, bro.
At the time, I recorded Buford, and you asked me if I'd be interested in talking to him. I was so young, I just blew it off. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, I thought he said, I'm so young, I just blew him off.
He did. No, he didn't blow him.
I prefer
He blow
Janet.
him off.
You just went Vietnamese on me. He blew him off. What the fuck just happened? Oh, man. Sharif.
Oh.
Said hi, Mike.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we got to get hearing aids for Gizz.
What?
What?
I don't need one if I do this every
Huh?
Monday.
More
Alright.
Buford. More Buford.
More Buford, definitely. Well, another great show. Let's have you back.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
let's do this again.
When I'm after I'm dead, you can have me back.
Well, that's the
Yeah,
reason
yeah,
we're doing
yeah.
this.
Yeah, that would be fucking spectacular.
You'll probably be more lively.
Can we film your funeral now?
Sure.
It'll be better than your first answer to the interview. You know, how you been?
No.
Yeah.
Did you know? No. How about no? Yeah, Sharif, we are. We absolutely are. But I
Were
love
you?
Buford. No.
You should be here, Sharif. Oh.
Yeah, you'd be a better coach than Gizz.
Well, it's time for me to go take a piss. So.
Well, let's sign the fuck off of here.
Well, again, you know what you should do. I'm Gizz Lazlo.
I'm just Paul.
This is Michael Rozon. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next Monday, where our guest will be Patrick Burkholder from Pawn Shop Recorders and his new studio, which totally just left my mind.
So it's Gizheimer.
Don't print that.
Now write that down and make a sticker out of it.
We'll change that.
It's something like loose leopard, something leopard, def leopard,
Speed-Semen-Leopard.
Fucking
Fucker.
Jesus.
spotted,
Leopard,
spotted.
fuck.
Do you got to take another piss?
No, he just hates you.